Welcome to the Art of Money podcast with Art McPherson.
And thanks for checking out the Art of Money podcast. My name is Mark Owens alongside Art McPherson and Luke McCarty. All the information for the McPherson Financial Group, you can find it at theartofmoneyradio.com. I want to talk about a want versus a need attitude. And, the pandemic has proven to be a big boom for online retailers. And studyfinds.org says that over the course of our lifetime, the average American spends $70,000 on online purchases that they later regret. So, Art McPherson, when someone is setting up that retirement plan, do you include that everyday spending or, do you offer advice on wants versus needs?
Yeah, that's part of our discussion on budgeting. You have a certain amount of the budget that is your have-to bills. If you have a mortgage still, then that's part of your have-to budget. If you have car payments, that's part of your have-to budget. It's those things that you can't get away from. In your world, Mark, I would say your beer budget is a have-to budget because you have to have a certain amount of beer to get through the month. Well, that is a food budget item, so we're talking about food. We're talking about those things that you're going to be doing on a regular, consistent basis. If you buy something on Amazon and it sits in a box when it gets home for more than a couple days, that is not a have-to issue. If you're buying a battery for your vehicle, that's a have-to thing that you need to do, even if it's a non-expected because you can't start your car without it. But if you're buying bling for the car and you're buying all kinds of chrome trim and all this other stuff, well, that's not a have-to budget. So it's just basically making sure there's enough resources that if you want to do things like that, you can. But you need to have a budget for it. So that's our discretionary budget. And as long as you have the money available, have fun. If you enjoy doing some extra spending on Amazon, have fun. We don't care as long as you stay within that discretionary. So if we give a client a couple $1,000s a month for discretionary and they're using it to buy $2,000 a month worth of Amazon instead of travel, go have fun. But, we just want to make sure that they're doing exactly what we've designed for them in their retirement budget.
All right. Full disclosure. Yes, it is a beer budget, but I do have some class. I also have a box wine budget as well. So I do. Hey, Art McPherson.
Now let me ask you a question.
Okay.
You had said before, somebody looked at their box wine. Does your box wine provide 4 bottles or 3.5 bottles now?
Because of inflation, and it's something that we have discussed here on The Art of Money with Art McPherson, the new term, which is shrinkflation, which is the box looks the same, the packaging looks the same, but inside the box is a smaller amount because more people check the price and not the actual weight or volume. Now that I've learned that, when I go search out my box wine, I make sure they have the 4 little bottles on the back because there are some that now have 3.5. So yes, I do make it a point that my box bag of wine is a full 4 bottles.
You are so classy.
You just judge me all day long. Artofmoneyradio.com. Have you ever had to have a conversation like where you almost have to be the bad guy, where you have to tell somebody, look, I know you really want that new boat or that RV, but right now we need to get this plan put together for the next 10 years?
Yes, because there are people that's typically our spenders that are, as soon as we create, I'll give you an example. I had a client come in here and they were upside down $2,000 a month.
Okay.
So they were spending $2,000 more a month than they had as income. Well, the first thing we had to do before we could really do a whole lot of financial planning for retirement was to fix their budget. But as soon as I start helping them fix the budget, the spender says, wow, I have all this extra money that I didn't have. Let's go buy something.
Right.
So yes, I have to be the bad guy in those situations because it's like, no. The reason we're creating this extra cash flow for you is because you need discretionary money. You need a savings bucket. Once we get your savings bucket built up and you are where I want you to be, yes, then you can go buy a boat because now you can use some of that savings dollars that you're putting away every month. You can back it down and then you can use that as a payment. So, those kind of issues are absolutely imperative. My savers, on the other hand, are always phenomenal. The biggest problem I have with my savers is getting them to pull the money they could pull in retirement because they're always worried about not having enough. And they get more energy actually seeing the account grow than they do about having the financial freedom of what the money provides. So it's funny, you have a dichotomy, so we really do a lot of life coaching because we're talking about, okay, it's okay for the spender to rein it in,
Sure.
so I'm agreeing with the spouse a lot of times. Yeah, you're being a little too aggressive there. And on the spending side, I'm agreeing with the spouse that would like to spend, and the other spouse is like, no, we can't. So, we do a lot of kind of financial coaching behind the scenes on that one.
But that's not a bad thing, because sometimes I know, for like in my case, I need someone to say, all right, slow down a little bit. I know you want the golf cart, and I know you want the new boat, and I know you want to get, but let's be realistic here. So you need the truth. Like, you need an honest, not objective third party to say, while your wants are awesome, we need to get this paid off first. So that's not a bad thing. 321-425-8550. Give the team at the McPherson Financial Group a call and set up that first consultation. It is compliments of the team from the McPherson Financial Group, and always online at artofmoneyradio.com.
Thanks for listening. Want more from Art McPherson of McPherson Financial Group? Find us online at artofmoneyradio.com. We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Securities offered through World Equity Group, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Investment advisory services offered through ProStatus Group, LLC. McPherson Financial Group and ProStatus Group, LLC are separate entities and are not owned or controlled by World Equity Group, Inc. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate, and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Investment financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. Art McPherson is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency, and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Arthur McPherson. Florida Insurance License number A174725.
Today's show has been a work of art.